rise, come and go, handle your business. Supposedly the best, what you talking about, Willis? Don't be talking trash, cause you know that he's a winner. So Trevon, Darius, Kawhi, and Jiggy, get Jimmer. Even while Bill be blushing like a portly pirate poet saying, I'm in love and I just don't care who knows it.
Teach me how to Jimmer. Teach me how to Jimmer. Jimmer. Teach me how to Jimmer. Teach me how to Jimmer. Jimmer.
Everybody Jimmer. Everybody Jimmer. Everybody Jimmer. You ain't messing with the Jimmer.
That's just the latest bit of Jimmermania, Jim's sanity, whether it's hip-hop, classic rock, or a serenade. Musicians from all around are inspired by Jimmer. Believe it or not, a lot of them get back to Jimmer.
Heard about it. I haven't heard it. I've heard about it, though. You know, so I mean, obviously, the real songs Teach Me How to Dougie, so they kind of just copied that, you know, and just went with it. And
how would you teach somebody how to Jimmer?
I have no idea. You know, I can dance a little bit, but I don't know what I would tell them, to be honest with you.
There's always something new. That's the best thing, is every week there's someone that's going to say something or do something, and that's what makes it fun.
What a situation he has created in Provo, and another career high for me this past week. I had a chance to sit down with Jimmer Fredette, talked about all kinds of things, and now we go to part two, and it starts where part one ended, actually, with Jimmer telling us about what his girlfriend says to keep him grounded.
We don't really talk about basketball at all, so that's good.
What does she do to bring you down to earth if you're getting too caught up in what you're doing? What's her favorite ploy?
You know, she just tells me I'm not too cool. You know, I'm not as cool as everyone thinks I am. You know, she's the cool one in the relationship. You know, so she does a good job letting me know that.
And his teammates also work to keep the Jimmermania under control.
They always are just making fun of me and punching me and doing all these things. They all try to gang up on me. Is the biggest thing. They try to gang up on me and do the best they can to keep me grounded, and I think they do a good job.
And the missed dunk was not a topic at all, right? They didn't talk about the thing
was, it was a little bit, but the thing was that Brandon missed one pretty bad when he tried to go for that windmill. I mean, you guys can see there. I think that was the worst one, so they kind of got on Brandon more because he's a lot taller and tried to do something and just completely missed it.
My guest is a point guard for the 7th-ranked BYU Cougars.
It's been an unbelievable experience. You know, it's been a lot of fun. You know, people recognize you wherever you go, and you know, it's cool to be, you know, in my position right now.
Oh, Fredette! How deep was that? That was almost at the end of the V of UNLV.
Coach Rose calls it an open shot, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you cross half court and you have green light. Do you ever go up going, this might be a little deep?
Not really. I don't think about it when I'm shooting it. A lot of times I don't know exactly how far I am. I know I'm pretty far, and then when I look on tape, I realize that it was probably pretty far, but I've been doing that my whole life.
Because I don't know what you do about that.
I see it as an opportunity to score if they're leaving me open. You know, if they're leaving me open.
I mean, it's 40 feet. Of course you're going to be left open, but they can't do it now.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. They can't do it, and that's what opens up a lot of things for our offense.
You heard things that have surprised you where they're going, oh, no, or, whoa, or, hey, dude, where was that from?
Yeah, just kind of, you know, saying like, geez, Jim, why you got to be shooting it all the way out there? I can't be guarding you all the way out there all the time. And, you know, the people will just look at me and just kind of smile and laugh, and I'll just laugh and say, I don't know, man. Just feeling good today, and you know, it's all in good fun.
Jim Boylan said the other day, you're a tough guy to officiate. And I noticed at home, you don't get a ton of calls like a National Player of the Year candidate might get, but you play through it. You've done a good job of playing through that.
Yeah, I try to just play through as much as I can. You know, sometimes it gets a little frustrating. I'm not going to, yeah, I'll be the first one to admit that. It's tough to go through, and, you know, you think you get fouled and they don't call it, but it's part of the game.
You're trying to get to the foul line. You hunt contact. That's your game.
I want to get to the foul line, you're right. And, you know, so if they're calling it, it's a good plan. But if they're not calling it, you know, it's probably not the best plan.
Final piece of my interview with Jimmer coming up in just a few minutes. Talks about the Mountain West and NCAA tournaments and what he calls his certain future in the NBA. All right, NASCAR gang off. Can't even imagine that. They could use an infusion of energy and a shot maker like, I don't know, Jimmer. He's surpassed many of his goals this senior season, but there's still some big ones right in front of him, not to mention his work ahead in the NBA. We talk about all of that in part 3 of my sit-down with the Cougar superstar.
One of the only things that I haven't accomplished here to win that conference tournament, and it's tough to do. It really is. 3 games against very, very tough opponents in our conference. To win 3 games, you have to be a special team and be able to play really well. for those 3 games. But I'm looking forward to having that opportunity to do that. And I know if we can win that, you know, it'll really, really help us with that NCAA tournament bid and, you know, the seeding that we could get. So it's very important.
Last spring, you took a dip into the NBA and you got a chance to perform in front of scouts and executives. What's the best thing you heard about your game, and what's the one thing that maybe hurt you and drove you in the summer and in the fall?
I think the best thing is that everybody, you know, told me that I could play at that level. They said that you're going to make a team, you can play, you can score at any level, and you're going to find yourself in the NBA just because you have such a great offensive game that, and the team's not going to be able to pass that up. The biggest thing is just getting over that stereotype of being not as athletic as the other guys. And I'm definitely not one of the most athletic players out there, but I just want them to know that I can hold my own, you know, that I could actually play at that level, that I'm not going to be a hindrance to them, you know, on the defensive end, show them that I can play defense and do all these things athletically that some of these other guys can do, you know, especially with my body movement, my body control, and be able to stop on a dime and use my body weight really well. And that's something I've really focused on my whole entire life in training, because I knew I wouldn't be the fastest or be able to jump the highest, but I knew I could control my body just as well or better than anybody else. And I think that's a big thing with athleticism. You know, so I just got to show them that, and hopefully I'll continue to work hard, and, you know, maybe eventually they'll see that. I truly wanted to be a great basketball player and to be in this position, and I worked as hard as I could to possibly get there. And, you know, now that I'm here, it's a great feeling, but like I said, never can be satisfied. I still have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and I'm not even close to where I want to be at, so I still have to work even harder.
You've done national interviews for the last 6-8 weeks. How did I do here today? Was I right?
Oh, you did a great job. One of the best interviews I've had all year, so it was fun.
I like that. Jimmer's way too kind, huh? With 8 to 10 games left in his college career, still has a chance to catch Danny Ainge. We'll see what happens here as the tournaments come and the games get bigger. You know he's going to step up to the challenge. Look forward to seeing him produce in the postseason. All right, unfortunate